Today, on Pat's Car Garage, mounting your transmission cooler with zip ties is not a great idea. So my transmission cooler, I obviously removed it, but the old one, it was loose and it rattled around and broke and transmission fluid went everywhere. So yeah, I got the old pipes here covered up so stuff doesn't get in, but basically I cut the bumper support open a little bit. I cut it down here and I folded it over, and I'm going to show you why. So I have a new cooler with a new bracket that I made. So here is the new cooler. Again, the ports are covered up, but yeah, this is the transmission cooler, and I made this little bracket here to mount the transmission cooler. And let me show you how that goes. So pick that up. These coolers are good, by the way. Just, you know, if you install it like a moron, that's what you get. All right, let's do this with one hand with good framing. So basically, this sits down in here, and that'll go up against there. And yeah, that's what that's going to look like. Gotta drill a hole through here to put a nut and bolt, and I'll do the same thing down here. I still have to trim this to fit, but essentially, yeah, this is how the transmission cooler is going to mount now. Reassemble this, make the holes, attach it, put the lines back on, and yeah, put back together all the stuff. There's lots of headlights and side lights and aux lights and just overall a little pile of work to do, but yeah, hopefully this will fix my leaking transmission cooler. I was lazy with the power steering cooler, but actually this is yeah, it's solid enough that it doesn't actually matter. So like this is fine because you can get the zip ties in properly. I gotta admit, by my own standards, this is almost too good for me. There you go. You got one bolt up here. I'm still, well, bolt. It's technically a screw. I need to find a screw for down here. I also cut this out at an angle so that I can reach my finger in there and get these screws started. And eventually you can, you know, squeeze a wrench in there. But otherwise, when this was closed up like that, not a lot of room to install that. But yeah, there you go. I mean, this is super clean. Once that's bolted down, this will be nice and solid. The header panel is going to be, I mean, hopefully this clears the header panel. I did, you know, use precision guesstimation using the iChrometer, you know, patent still pending. But everything should fit because this was pushed out further out when it was zip tied in. Now it's a lot closer to the condenser. So in theory, this should all fit. And it's also sitting a little bit lower than it was before. So this hose isn't going to get pinched on the header panel anymore. So this setup overall is a huge improvement. So we'll see how that works out. All right, that worked out quite well actually. With the header panel in place, it only interfered in one little spot right here, but as you can tell, I've finessed it, so to speak. So just put a little cut piece of rubber hose to prevent this plastic from rubbing against the aluminum radiator, but everything else clears. Doesn't look like it does, but there is a tiny gap back here. The radiator is nice and solid-ish. So yeah, I mean, everything looks good on this end. Just time to put everything back together, including the bumper lights and all that. And I did modify the header panel a little bit to get more airflow going through here. I see this plastic piece, it went all across like that, so I just cut that out for the side with the cooler on. Get a little bit more airflow going through here, which is always good for a transmission cooler.